All right, we are currently live streaming on YouTube for episode 80, believe it or not. Episode 80 of the On the Hunt podcast. Joining me tonight, we got three of our four members. That's right. We don't have Reggie Funchess, unfortunately, but he's with us in spirit tonight. I'm sure he's busy doing other things, but I know he'd want to be here. We also have got Nate Rucker joining us, and the number one Lions fan, Mr. Bobby Bless. Bobby, I'm gonna toss it over to you real quick so I can check everything, make sure we're on and all that. So,
Okay.
how have things been working for Mr. Smiley Face?
Shoot, good. The Lion, being a Lions fan is at an all-time high. You know how I know you seen that like reel or something I shared. I'm head bobbing every Lions fan I know, tapping my hat, pulling my hat, saying "Go Lions." I done said "Go Lions" so much in my life. This last couple days I have ever in like a 2-day span. Dude, everybody is being a Lions fan. I see everybody wearing the hats, and everybody want to stop and talk about the Lions. I am literally having to tell folks, I can't talk about the football now. I got other stuff going on. I got to do this little work called Walmart work, right? So now everybody's a Lions fan, even like fans that's not, even like like a Pittsburgh fans. They telling me it's gonna be Pittsburgh and Detroit in the Super Bowl. So I've been hearing all kind of Super Bowl scenarios, and it's just amazing and surprising that they really talk about my team in those scenarios. That is not nothing I am used to by far. And pretty much, man, we winning though. That's what it's all. That's all that matters though. When it all said and done, it's 9-1. We even had a couple injuries. They moving past. They still going. Uh, Dan Campbell's being funny to me. Aaron Glenn, all that stuff is just a good time as a Lions fan. And every time I cut on the TV, I gotta try to filter out what some of these sports announcers or sports analysts are saying about my team, whether it's good or bad. It all is nothing I'm used to, brother. And it's just missing you guys because we ain't really did the podcast like we want to. Um, you know, that's pretty much it, man. Trying to blend my life in with real life and making sure I'm able to watch these football games, kind of thing. But just just excited for. I feel like Lions fans are actually getting what we deserve, and I feel like I'm the main one to deserve all the money I spent in this damn team. So, what's up with you, brother? You got anything to drop in there for me, Nate?
Head forward down the field. No.
So let's get into some of the topics we got for tonight because we got a lot to get to and not a whole lot of time to do it. So since the last time we all spoke about Lions football, Lions have reeled off four victories in a row. Those victories were over the Titans, 52-14, over the Packers, 24-14, over the Texans, 26-23, and then, of course, this past weekend, belt to ass, 52-6 over the Jaguars. So just initial thoughts. Obviously, we're 9-1. We're the number one team in the NFC. Nate, I'll go to you first, and I'll have you toss it to Bobby, and then Bobby, you can toss it back to me. But Nate, what are your initial thoughts on the 9-1 record so far?
I'm very happy that the way the team is embracing being the number one team in the NFL. Fuck the NFC.
Fair enough.
Everybody knows. We are the number one team in the league. Like nobody's, like I say, there's been 3 games this year where teams put up 50. 2 of them have been by us. Nobody in the league has more 20-point wins than we do. Like our offense is good. The defense is good. Even when we have a bad game, it shows just how quick we turn around. And because y'all think we might have a hangover, we like to say, the words of The Rock when he first came back, probably about 14 years ago, was called Boots to Asses. just to let y'all know, we putting boots to asses. Xavier McKinney made a comment before we played the Packers, like, "Oh, this time the Lions are disrespectful, and we over here, we're not gonna take that disrespect. They come out and want to embarrass you and da 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 da." Guess what, homeboy? Since then, we've put 2 more boots to some more asses.
And we ain't do you worse than Swift did you either.
Right, and we just letting y'all know that guess what? We have been the bottom of the barrel for so long, even when we had our good teams sporadically. The Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford phase. Also, I seen Golden Tate too when I went to Louisiana. But it's never been consistent. We've never been this fucking good.
Ever.
And teams would look at us on the schedule, whether it was Thanksgiving, whenever, and they would love to rain on our day.
Right.
They would love to do shit to embarrass us. They wasn't doing no victory formations and shit. They were trying to score on us with 4 seconds left, and they're winning.
Right.
You know, we were the laughing stock. Everybody remember Jay Leno and all them when we were 0-16, and there was a joke of when we were going to fucking win. All that.
Yeah.
Guess what? Y'all are the jokes. Y'all understands now. If y'all do not come to play, guess what? We beating y'all ass.
Right.
And it's not our fault if you're not prepared. So don't be mad at us if we embarrass you because you didn't prepare as well as we do. Everybody in this league is a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody says shit about the Chiefs. Nobody says shit about the Miami Dolphins putting up 70.
That's
remember
true.
that? They put
I do remember that. I remember that because Donnie Despot, who I work with and who's also part of the team,
they put up fucking 70 points. And people out here crying, talking about we trying to embarrass me. Wait, what? No, what we're doing is we're playing football. We're playing to the whistle. And unfortunately, for a better feeling, we're just one of the better teams now. Our personnel is good. Drafting has been good. And we didn't go out and buy a whole bunch of expensive free agents. Our shit been built through the draft. Our coach started 3-12. Whatever the fuck we were, 3-13.
Yeah.
And won. We got a tie before we got to win.
Right. So 3-13-1. So, now that we here, don't be mad because we here.
Right.
How y'all salty because, it's not the same old Lions. Y'all hoped last year was a fluke. This year, they're going to be the 100. They're going to be the same old Lions. No, what we showed you, we'll turn that bitch up on your ass. Guess what? Lions don't play no shit. So, so that's just what it is. Y'all got to deal with it. I ain't mad at it. I love it.
Bobby, thoughts?
Same energy as Nate, but it's more of like watching the game. You can't like turn your head because like if I go in the room or something real quick, if something happens so quick, they move that ball so quick. Like when Gibbs got that 52-yard catch and run.
Yeah,
dude, I went to the bathroom and came back in my own house and missed it, bro. So it shit happening. It's everywhere. Shit happening everywhere. Can't leave it on defense because, like, when the kickoff come, you just now trying to settle in the game. Soon as I went in I was frying some fish or something like that. Soon as I go in the kitchen to fry the fish, all I hear was it was Brian Branch hitting the dude like the first play of the game. I said, "Dang,
yeah."
Man, I was like, man, I gotta do better."
He hit that boy so hard. I swear to God, he knocked smoke out his ass.
Man, it's just good times, Elijah. It's I hate to say it, it's the best football show I ever seen. And I'm extremely biased, but man, I can think of one other team, maybe even two, that was like excited me like these Lions do, and I'm talking about not just Lions teams, like teams of all time, like Greatest Show on Turf, Kurt Warner and them, and Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk. To be honest with you, the next one would be Randy Moss and Chris Carter, and I want to say Randall Cunningham. They would like something like that, but other than that, man, it's the 2024 Lions, man. They like I for some reason I'm watching the game, and you know our big guy Reggie Funches. Remember, like when we lost to Green Bay. I mean, when we beat Green Bay, stopped them from going, but then we end up going. I mean, and we didn't that one. And
Right.
he said he was reading the numbers and stuff, and he said we on pace to do something special.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, we've been special since then. Since he made that statement, I think we've been on fire for real."
I wholeheartedly agree, my friend. And as far as my thoughts on this team so far, so I got a lot of thoughts, and I really want to make sure that I'm not just going on long speeches tonight. I want to make sure that we involve Bobby and Nate. But I got a lot of things that I've been thinking about over the past 4 weeks. So first of all, let me give you the stats. All right, let me give you the stats of where our guys are at the moment. These are the offensive leaders, okay? So you got Goff, who's completing 73% of his passes. He's thrown for 2,942 yards, 20 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Gibbs has got 133 attempts for 796 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground. Montgomery has got 137 attempts for 595 yards, 10 touchdowns on the ground. St. Brown's got 65 receptions for 685 yards and 9 touchdowns. Williams has got 24 receptions for 538 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Laporta, who's been banged up, he's got 25 receptions for 366 yards and 3 touchdowns. I want to go back to Jared Goff for a second. So I was trying to think, who does Jared Goff remind me of at this point in his career? Because I remember when he was coming out in the draft, a lot of people said Tony Romo. That's what they said. They said, if you want to know what Jared Goff is going to be, look at Tony Romo. And the year that Jared Goff came out in the draft, that draft was not looked at as a great draft for quarterbacks. I don't have time to get into it right now, but basically it was Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, and then 50 feet of crap, and then everybody else. Like that was the situation. And so, like I said, I've been thinking about who does he remind me of? And there are 2 players that he reminds me of. The first one might be a little bit of a surprise because I have not heard him compared to this individual yet, and I think that he should be. And that is Peyton Manning. Jared Goff reminds me of Peyton Manning. Now, what do I mean by that? If you remember Peyton Manning with the Colts, what was the thing that he was the best at? He was the best
making
at
checks on the line, making the checks at the line.
Exactly.
Sure.
He was known for his brains, right? He can get you into the right play. He can figure out what the defense is doing, and he will pick you apart. And then play action wise, there wasn't anybody hardly better than him when it came to faking and then throwing that play action pass. And so when I'm looking at Goff, I'm seeing Peyton Manning. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing somebody who is analytical, who knows what they're looking at, can diagnose it on the fly. And when it comes to play action, I don't know anybody better than us in the league right now at it. So for me, I see Peyton Manning when I look at Jared Goff. And you also look at the arm strength thing, right? Peyton Manning was criticized for his arm strength. Jared Goff has been criticized for it. So again, he's not somebody that I've heard any of the big analysts compare him to, but I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking about some of those offenses that the Colts had over the years with Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James. They also had, I think, Dallas Clark, if I'm not mistaken, in the tight end spot. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, Indianapolis Colts, Detroit Lions, Peyton Manning, Jared Goff. To me, that's a comparison that I think needs to be made. And then the other quarterback that he reminds me of, because of storyline purposes, is Kurt Warner. Because Kurt Warner took multiple teams to the Super Bowl. And if Jared Goff can pull that off, he will be one of the few who has also done that. And if you look at it, Kurt Warner, right, he came out of nowhere after playing arena football in Iowa, and everybody knows that story. He goes to the Rams. He plays really well, but then the minute that he starts kind of struggling a little bit, the Rams kick him to the curb. He goes to a team where his career was supposed to die, right? And actually, he had a pit stop before that happened because he went to the Giants, which
And dog, oh my God, he was so
a lot of people forget that he went to the Giants and he was benched with a winning record. Look that up. Yeah, he was benched with a winning record so they could go to Eli Manning. But then he was kicked to a team where his career was supposed to die with the Arizona Cardinals, and he didn't let it die. So again, so to me, I just want to go to the fellas here. First and foremost, the Peyton Manning comparison. Do you see it? Are you with me on that boat? Because again, I have not heard any analyst compare Jared Goff to Peyton Manning, but that's what I see the more that I watch the man. Bobby, I know you're his number one supporter, so let me go to you first. What do you think about that comparison?
I agree with a lot of it. I agree with most of it, but it's one thing that I don't agree with it with. He ain't the leader like Manning is. He's a leader. He's a leader. Don't get me wrong. He's a good leader. He's his own type of leader.
Mm-hmm.
But Peyton Manning was a perfectionist. Peyton Manning would cuss out his linemen. Peyton Manning would tell Dungy, we going for it. Get them on the field. That ain't Goff. Goff, as far as the attributes you talk about, the passing, the accuracy, all that stuff, I'm locked in with that. I just don't think he is vocal as Peyton Manning.
Now, do you think that's because he can't or because he doesn't have to?
I don't think that's it. I don't think it's in him to do it.
Okay.
I don't think his role in the team is to be the go OC about stuff. You feel me? You know, yeah. Jared Goff more of the guy is, hey, we take it how it comes. You feel me? We just gonna move on to the next play. I'll give him that. But as far as like the checks at the line and accurate throws, definitely play action, I agree. But the part that he don't bring to the table is not necessarily football related. So that's why I agree to a certain extent.
Okay.
And as far as Kurt Warner, not so much. And the reason why not so much, because Goff was the number one pick.
Yeah.
Sorry or not, you have high expectations. And Kurt Warner was never. I never heard anyone say that a team won despite of Kurt Warner.
That's true.
Yeah, that like people made it seem like this team winning, even though they got Goff holding them back. Kind of, I've never heard any kind of that, so that's why I don't agree.
Yeah.
I think Jared Goff has his own style when it comes. He's doing something that ain't like never been done to me. Cause how can I say it? Okay, like we talked about me being in an accident before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I compare like Goff coming to Detroit as like, hey, he getting rolled off. He getting sent to die. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? So he had, even through all that vitriol, and the reason why I say vitriol, because Sean McVay made it seem like it was really like Goff was the reason why they didn't win the Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and then from the relationship they had and how it ended, from what I think I overheard Goff saying that Sean McVay never even called him and told him he was on the trading block or possibly getting traded. And that seemed, and that just, all that kind of anger usually it either fuels you or destroy you.
Right.
It fueled him, but I think it was mostly because his attitude. The two P's, patience and positivity.
Right.
Even with his first, I shared it real earlier, even with his first press conference with the Lions, he didn't seem like a guy that was a hostage.
Right.
He seemed like he more was a volunteer. And he it seemed like he embraced the fact of, first of all, proving the last team wrong, but secondly, getting this team off the dirt, getting this team to. I'm not coming here to be no bridge quarterback. I'm coming here to win. They laughed at him when he said it, but he kept a positive attitude. He's not arrogant, but he ain't no pushover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be like Deion Sanders, but he ain't gonna be no yes man either. So he's balancing that anger with a clear head, and it's impressive because most people drafted number one, ego through the roof, ego got destroyed.
Yeah,
but he built it back
and
on a positive take. And I have never even heard him say like, "This is why they didn't want me," or "Woo, woo, woo." Like, as well as he's doing, Robert Bobby Bless Names talking that shit. You feel me?
Right.
Perfect game. Perfect game. You feel me? So it's impressive. Humble.
So, and I just want to clarify something before I toss it to Nate. So when I was talking about that Kurt Warner comparison, I'm not talking about like how they play ball. What I'm talking about.
I knew that.
But just
through it all, they still.
Well, and specifically that time that he had with the Arizona Cardinals, because he went there to a team that all they had was, I shouldn't say all they had, but from the outside looking in, they had Larry Fitzgerald.
I had Bolden too.
And they were looking at it like, we just need to sell tickets. We're a lowly franchise. That's where he was supposed to kind of be put out to pasture, and he refused to go out like that. So that's what I'm looking at with the Kurt Warner thing. But Nate, Peyton Manning, Kurt Warner, do you see that? Specifically the Peyton Manning thing.
Well, first of all,
I'm over here with my Lion King cup, and he's over there.
He made me so sick. He made me sick.
Hey,
man.
First of all, we're going to take a shot to Jared Goff real quick. Just so.
Get out for my water. Because when I drink water, I do it with the pinky out because I'm a classy fella.
Man.
So here's my thing about this. I see everything about Peyton Manning. The difference is Jared Goff doesn't have to do it because Jared Goff is on a way more talented team than Peyton Manning ever was.
Okay.
Peyton Manning didn't have the type of offensive line that Jared Goff has. He didn't have the type of receivers that he's had or the type of coaches that he had to get into it with his coaches. If you pay attention to these post games when Jared Goff, that's why he always breaks the team down in the locker room. You hear it. It's the same thing. He say, listen, we went out there, we did what we were supposed to do. When they didn't think we was, we took care of business, now on to the next one.
He definitely say on to the next one. He do.
Yeah. So it's there. The difference is I don't have to. I got guys around me that speak. Panay Sewell, do his thing. You see Carlton Davis, do his thing.
That boy crazy.
All these guys, you got so many leaders on one team that guess what? My quarterback, he don't have to do shit but sit back and sling the rock. But his respect as the team captain is shown at the end of every game, whether it wins or loses. Who's the guy that breaks it down? Jared Goff.
Right.
And then you see his emotion. You see his fire. You don't have to see it on the field because he's so locked in. And granted, when you're talking about Peyton was an interception throwing motherfucker. Like for all his greatness, he's an interception throwing motherfucker.
He threw the most as a rookie and still ain't broke that record.
God damn, the motherfucker threw almost 30. I think he threw 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jared Goff is, like when you're talking about that leader, he's that leader. The difference is he has so many guys around him and everybody does their job. Everybody trusts the next man. Guess what? I don't have to do this on the field because these guys already got it in their head. What's understood don't need to be talked about. So when they fuck up, they come off the field, everybody's into their tablet. Everybody's my bad. They looking at what they seen. They ain't like, oh, you got to coach them up. You see more guys on the defense cheering up the offense. Hey, let's go. Because they already know what they got to do.
Yeah.
Jared Goff don't got to say shit.
And
Ben Johnson don't say shit.
Yeah.
Whether we up by 50, Ben Johnson don't say shit. This motherfucker smile when we losing. Because he know, guess what?
I can't stand Nate, man.
Listen, when you know you so fucking good, it don't matter. Right. Because you can have us, Houston thought they had it. Packers, y'all thought y'all had it. Just because you stop us here and there, we can like Jared Goff. Guess what? You done threw 5 picks, but defense, don't even worry about it. We coming right back. We taking this bitch back and we giving it to you again.
On the next play.
On the very next play.
On the next play.
You came in, you threw another interception. Guess what? These bums still ain't scored. Now, go start again.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. They got T.O. say, that's my quarterback. The whole team be like, that's our quarterback. I wish the motherfuckers would listen.
You sold it from me.
I'm so glad these motherfuckers ain't did a dirty hit on Jared Goff because I think our whole offense will get fined.
Ride. Yeah, they're going to ride.
The whole offense going to get fined.
They're going to be able to finish the game.
Because they ride with each other that tough.
And the teammates do more talking for Jared Goff than Goff do for himself.
And guess what? That's what a leader does, truthfully.
Right.
Everybody leads in different ways. But my coach leads by action. My coach is the vocal one. Guess what? It's like, I'm using me as an example. So a lot of times people talk about different things that happen in the city sports-wise, right? Mm-hmm. And I have more people talking about what I did or what they seen me do versus me talking about it myself.
Right.
I don't have to do it. Because
your
reputation
precedes you, sir. Your reputation precedes you, sir.
So guess what? When you have that, everybody trusts. Everybody know what Jared Goff is.
Right.
So we ain't got to worry about it. Only thing we gonna do, if he throw an interception, so fucking what? About time.
Yeah, and he a cuss. You can tell he got fired.
Think about it.
He don't be like no little wimp.
He threw 5 interceptions. So what? The motherfucker just went 6 games where he had more touchdowns than incompletions. So guess what? Okay, I'm human. I had a bad game. So fucking what? Just because y'all think it's that, this next game, I don't want to hear y'all say shit. Right. I can show you better than I can tell you. I can go out and I can sling the ball and hit 400 yards. I can throw for 4 touchdowns multiple times with no interceptions. But I don't have to. My team is built so that we gonna run it up and we gonna make you suffer. We gonna beat the fuck out you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Jared Goff. You can be Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, it can be Amon-Ra, it can be J-Mo. You don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
Fuck. Like, who do you pick? Like, and even now, they're incorporating Tim Patrick into the mold now.
Yeah, he be catching. He don't drop no passes.
Me and Elijah said that people gonna love Tim Patrick.
He's solid. His hand's solid for sure.
So real quick, because I know Bobby's got to go like towards
right. It's on you, Eli.
So real quick, I want to throw in a college prospect watch. Okay.
Okay.
And I think by now people know. Okay, if I say watch out for somebody, it might be a decent idea to take a peek. Okay.
That's what I'm talking your shit.
So I'm gonna give you a quarterback now. A lot of people are going to say, Elijah, we don't need a quarterback. You don't need one until you need one, okay? And then when you need one, you're like, oh, damn, right?
Man, you sick of Nate Sudfeld, huh? You get Sudfeld out of here, huh?
Yeah, I don't want a chance. I don't want a chance Nate Sudfeld being on this roster next year. So for me, you got Jared Goff, you got Hendon Hooker. Hendon, by the way, been playing very good in the time frame that he does have.
He getting better and better as time is
him in the play action this week. I love it.
So
and he accurate.
So Hendon's, making me look like a smart man. Let me give you the Jared Goff of college football. The Jared Goff of college football. He happens to play. No, he happens to play for my favorite team,
Georgia Tech.
His name is Haynes King. Haynes King was a former, I believe.
Yeah, he transferred there.
Yeah, so he started at Texas A&M.
Yeah, he did. I'm familiar with him.
Battled through some injuries, and then ended up transferring after things were looking bad for Jimbo Fisher. So he spent 3 years at Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Then came to Georgia Tech last season. Last year, he had similar numbers, believe it or not, to Jaden Daniels. When it came to rushing touchdowns, when it came to throwing touchdowns, he had similar numbers. Now this year, okay, and if you want tape to go watch on this kid, go watch him against the Florida State defense. Now, I understand Florida State ain't shit this year.
Dog shit.
But week one, when they were out in Ireland, they were being talked about like there were some bad boys out there. And watch how Haynes King stays in the pocket, makes and is able to deliver the ball when everything looks like it's going to go sideways. Now, I bring him up because you have 2 nationally televised games coming up for Haynes King in the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. One of them is this Thursday night at 7:30. NC State will be going to Atlanta to take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. That's this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. And then after that, Black Friday, November 29th, 7:30 p.m., Georgia Tech at Georgia. And if you remember, last year, Georgia Tech had Georgia on the ropes. It was like a 30-24 game, if I'm not mistaken. But Haynes King got 2 nationally televised opportunities. And the thought process is that he will leave Georgia Tech at the end of this year to try to go to the NFL, because behind him is Aaron Philo, which, without getting into all that, Aaron Philo broke Trevor Lawrence's Georgia high school football records. So he's going to be the next in line to be the Georgia Tech quarterback. But again, Haynes King, he wears number 10. He's all about toughness, all about grit. He can run the ball, he can throw it, and he's very good at the play action game. So, and he's right now, by the way, completing 71% of his passes, which is why I say the Jared Goff of college football. So take a look at him, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Again, this Thursday night, 7:30 against NC State, and then next Friday night against Georgia. That'll be the big one. And I'm hoping and praying they beat Georgia, because I cannot stand.
Get him, Nate.
All right. So let's go into the other topic that I wanted to bring up here before we get to this next game that the Lions.
Okay, wait. Go back, because I've got a prospect as well.
Okay, go ahead, Nate.
Hold on. Let me turn my video. I was fixing my cigar. So
first world problems.
So we know we need DN help, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I hate to say it, but the DN I want is actually coming out of Ohio State.
I'm proud of you, Nate. Go ahead. I'm proud of you.
This ass, Bobby. Yeah, it's a suck eye. It's a suck eye. Now, I'm gonna try to pronounce his name correctly. I'm gonna fucking fail.
Okay.
Because
let's say his jersey number too.
It's JT. Ooh, shit.
What?
JT Tuamuli. I fucked it up.
Hey, you gotta put his picture in the chat.
Listen,
bro.
I gotta look even to make sure that I even get this motherfucker's name right. Okay. It is JT
Okay.
Tiamu Luau.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay.
I have no idea who he is.
He's defensive end for Ohio State. He's actually number 44.
Okay.
And when I say at times he's like unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be a guy, he's either going to shoot up during the combine or he's going to come down.
Okay.
But at pick 32, I would love for the Lions to take him.
Fair enough.
Hence where I said where I say we pick him.
Okay. Yeah, no, I did catch on to that. 32.
And the number 32. So if people don't know, if we picking 32, we have dethroned the Chiefs.
Right. That's right. So,
and the don't knows will never know because they stupid. Whatever.
So to wrap that part up again, Haynes King, number 10 for Georgia Tech, got 2 nationally televised games coming up for him. And then you got JT44, that's what I'm going to call him. JT44 has got 2 games as well that are going to be nationally televised against Indiana this weekend and then against Michigan. So,
exactly.
Again, you can watch both my prospect and Nate's prospect, which, by the way, for Haynes King, I don't see him going in the first couple rounds. It's a deep quarterback draft. He's probably a day 3 guy, but I like his grit and I like his toughness, man. Like he's out there with a banged up shoulder right now, still running the quarterback read. And it's like, dude, like you don't have to do that, but he just has the respect of his teammates. And he's like, give it to me again. Let's go. And something about that I think matches well with Dan Campbell. So before we get to the Colts game, which is funny, I didn't realize we were playing the Colts this weekend whenever I was talking about Peyton Manning earlier. But anyway, I wanted to talk about through the first 25 games of their career, a comparison between Barry Sanders and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I want to be very, very clear, okay? I am not saying Jahmyr is better than Barry. That is not what I'm saying. I have said in the past, though, that if Jahmyr is blessed to have as long of a career as Barry did have, I do see Jahmyr breaking some of Barry's records. I do see that. But I am not saying that
he won't get the ball enough. But
he's not going to get the ball enough.
I hear what you're smoking.
Yeah, I do too. But he's not going to get the ball enough.
So here's what we got, okay? Through the first 25 games, I had to write this down in my notebook. So Barry Sanders had, through the first 25 games of his career, he had 424 attempts for 2,167 yards rushing and 21 touchdowns on the ground. Now, I tried my damnedest to find receiving yards for him, but I could
not. Ain't no ball to Barry like that, no.
I could not find any. So again, 424 attempts, 2,167 yards, and 21 touchdowns on the ground. Barry Sanders through first 25 games of his career. Jahmyr Gibbs through the first 25 games of his NFL career. 315 attempts, 1,741 yards rushing, and 18 touchdowns on the ground to go with 572 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns that way. So overall, you're looking at 2 guys who are pretty close in overall yardage and literally within a touchdown of each other when you look at overall touchdowns. So I just wanted to put that out there because, again, when I talked about drafting Jahmyr Gibbs and how he was worth a first-round pick, this is what I envisioned. It has been everything I hoped it would be and more. And the only thing that I hope is that he keeps staying healthy. And I love the way that Ben Johnson works in David Montgomery to make sure that Jahmyr Gibbs is at his best. And one final thing before I toss it to Bobby here for this topic. I noticed a couple weeks ago that they used the same type of formation that they used with Barry when it comes to depth behind center of where Barry would line up, because he used to line up way behind the quarterback in the center. They're doing that same thing with Jahmyr. if you were to put a side by side, it's almost the same amount of yardage. And it's different when Montgomery's in there. He's not that far off the line of scrimmage, but Jahmyr is noticeably deep in the backfield, just like Barry was. And I think that's kind of interesting. So Lions fans, keep an eye out for that formation. But Bobby, go ahead, man.
Couple things. Barry had to run backwards before he got his yards forward. So, okay. So I want to throw that in there. And just a quick caveat. If Barry Sanders had the line that we have now, it wouldn't even be close. But I understand your energy, and I love it. But it's not realistic at all.
I certainly respect that. And you know, something that I brought up before is that I feel that, you know, in the 90s, obviously you had Barry versus Emmett, right? You know, two great running backs. I think you have that nowadays, you know, with Bijan and Jahmyr. And I feel like what's happened is, you know, Emmett benefited from having a great team around him. He didn't have
Same with Gibbs.
He didn't have to be Superman all the time. Gibbs is Emmett Smith in this situation. And Bijan,
no, he's not. He's not, because he's splitting carries though. That's why I disagree.
Bijan is having to put on the Superman cape and do
for sure.
And I think what's going to happen is at the end of these two guys' career, the conversation's going to be, what if Bijan had a better team around him? That's going to be the conversation, because Bijan can't keep this up the way that he's currently doing it right now. And I almost feel bad for him, to be honest. But Nate, I want to work you in on this topic, and then if you can toss it to Bobby.
Yeah, Marshall Faulk. He more like Marshall Faulk than Barry Sanders to me. But that's
true. No, I was going to say, so Jahmyr Gibbs is more like Marshall Faulk, but Damian Thomason, guys that truly were Swiss Army knives. Now,
like Roger Craig, all of them kind of
guys. Right. Even Roger Craig. Roger Craig really, not even say Roger Craig. I say more like Ricky Waters. Ricky Waters was a guy that truly caught the ball out the backfield and ran it. Now, when you're talking about the depth issue, or how, you know, the depth behind center. So when you talk about it, Barry actually got down in his stance, hands on his knees. Jahmyr stands up.
Yeah.
So the reason for that is to identify what the defense is doing. So Barry already being short, Barry looked at what looked between the line, look between the linemen.
Yeah.
Jahmyr has a little bit more height. So Jahmyr is able to look over the top with that distance and see what they're doing, how they're shifting, where they're placed.
Okay.
Right. So you think about it, David Montgomery. David Montgomery is stockier, but he's shorter. Guess what? He's down in his stance. He's on his knees. Same thing. He's not looking over the top of the offensive lineman. He's looking through the line.
Okay.
Why? Because number one, my first thing to attack, I'm going to attack through the gaps. I want to attack through the A, B, and C gap. Jahmyr Gibbs can, but his whole objective is to attack the gap and bounce. Okay. So if I can do that, as long as I can identify where my linebackers are lined up, it makes it so much easier for me. And so that's where that depth comes in, but you also have to look at their running back stance. Okay. You know, so that's where that comes in.
I just thought it was cool to see that, though. I was like, I haven't seen, like, that's almost like a cool, like you know, like whenever they have players who they've had fathers in the NFL and they'll put them side by side and they're like, look, it's just like dad, you know? And I'm not saying that Barry Sanders is Jahmyr's dad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's cool to see that comparison between two guys who probably, I mean, Jahmyr at the end of his career with the Lions, and I hope he always plays for the Lions. I think he's going to be up there when it comes to greatest running backs to ever play for this organization. So to see using them in the same way, that's interesting.
But his numbers are going to suffer because he's splitting carries with Montgomery.
Well, no, but here's the thing. His numbers aren't going to suffer because
I mean, comparing him to Barry.
Well, yeah, to Barry, but here's the thing. Barry never caught the ball. I think Barry has less than fucking 50 receptions.
Yeah. So it'd be more of like total yards.
Exactly.
From scrimmage yards, yeah.
Right. So And what you see in Jameer, it's easy because of how offense have evolved. And when you say Barry, anytime you can compare the two,
Oh,
Barry to anybody, you get,
you in a good
oh my God.
Yeah, you in a good conversation.
Jameer is in a good conversation. But like when they brought up Jamal Williams, I was like, no. Remember we had this talk. And they was like, oh, he's got all these touchdowns, same as Barry. Listen, Jamal Williams was a 1-yard monster. We knew that. But when it came to being a complete back,
God.
when it came, Jamal Williams in pass coverage was amazing.
Pass blocking.
Pass blocking, that goal line. But remember, I told people, David Montgomery is a way better back than Jamal Williams ever could be.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at all three in pass blocking, don't look too different, do it? People just didn't know. Like, these guys really can block. Yeah. But guess what? Jamal Williams doesn't have the vision that neither one of these two guys have.
Or speed.
Or top end speed. Or change the direction. So that's what I was telling. I was like, dog, just because Jamal, this was the best thing we did. We got a better version of Jamal Williams because David Montgomery on the goal line is just as effective.
Yeah.
But guess what? You can spell Jahmyr Gibbs. Our backs are so good. You get one series David Montgomery, one series Jahmyr Gibbs. You couldn't do one series Jamal Williams.
That's
he was
true.
situational.
That's true.
Like, do you realize how mind-blowing that is for a defense? So this one drive, I know y'all come with David Montgomery, meaning everything is power.
Right.
You're running power. You're running a dive. You're running belly. You're running counters. All through the A and B gap. Then when you get Jahmyr, you get, guess what? You get a B gap here and there. But then here comes the misdirection. Here comes the stretch runs. Here comes the outside zone reads. Now I'm stretching you. And then I come right back with the bully right up the middle.
Yeah.
And then here comes Jahmyr, and you're like, okay, contain the outside. And then he busts you right up the gut.
Yeah.
Like the combination of these two, like I say, their names, Sonic and Knuckles, is perfect. Oh, shout out to our secondary. They also have a new name.
What's that?
Smash and Grab, which is Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph.
Yeah. That's a great name because that smash
exactly
and
what
grab.
they do. That's exactly what they do.
I thought you were going to say thump and bump.
No, smash and grab.
Thump and bump.
So, Bobby, did you get to go on this topic with Barry or no?
No. I agree. No. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think his speed is just otherworldly. I think that he's faster than Barry, but he ain't got the moves like Barry. But he breaking ankles though, so I don't know. I don't care. I don't none of them. I can't catch none of them, so I don't really talk about it. But yeah, but hey, I love Gibbs. I know he a yard hound. Anytime you get that ball, he getting yards. So I'm okay with it. And I can't wait to see him actually know what he's doing because there's still times you can.
And remember,
you can still time catching on.
Remember that?
I did.
Yeah, I remember.
I know. Hey, Bobby remember.
I did. Hey.
I got heated.
That was a shot at Bobby. He remembered.
I did.
I got heated. I got heated.
He ain't no damn scat back.
Yeah, sure. I got heated at Bobby for that one, and I got heated at Nate when Nate's like, he ain't no first round draft pick. I'm like, yes, he is. He's like, Bijan's the only first, and then hey, both of our guys went. Both of our guys went in the first round. So
shut up, Elijah. Damn. Shut up.
Listen, I come in with the conflict and then I bring it. So anyway, Colts. We got to get to the Colts because it's 8:01. Bobby's got to go to bed. So
man,
Colts situation. They play us 1 o'clock on Sunday. This game will be in Indianapolis. Let me go to Bobby first. Bobby.
This thing, hey, you know how I usually say 100 to nothing, right? Isn't that a possibility? Is it? I don't know. No. I saw funny saying 52-6. I don't. Damn. Man. I'm gonna expect them to handle business. And as that video I tagged y'all to earlier, we don't want them to gain another yard, another damn yard, or we're gonna take them all out right now.
Right,
man. It's gonna be a Lance. It's gonna be we in Detroit, right?
No, Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Oh, but in the dome. So yeah, 35-7.
Okay, Nate, what do you got?
Oh, Lions, of course. Just in case
42-14. And the reason being is because even though Anthony Richardson is still a rookie, the impact of his running ability is going to.
I want to see Brian Branch hit him. I'm sorry. I want to see him, Brian Branch.
He do, but listen, Anthony Richardson is.
He a big dude. He a big dude. I know. He a big dude. He got tired and got his spot back.
Listen, he reminds me.
Of Cam.
No. Because
he don't know like Cam.
He has a like Michael Vick arm. When I mean, like, people really don't realize how strong of an arm Michael Vick has.
Yeah. Blind. Yeah,
he has a Michael Vick arm. He has the strength. I think even thinking the Cam did. Dante Culpepper.
Oh yeah.
With Minnesota.
This one, that one. yeah. Yeah.
That Dante.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
No, not that one. That one. That Dante. Because Anthony Richardson, he's
Did you say Fat Dante?
No.
Fat Dante, got it. There's two different ones. I just want to make sure I know what I'm talking about.
No. Dante that played for the Vikings, not for us.
Okay, got it.
But when Dante played for the Vikings, that's what really helped that offense.
Yeah.
And like even with Cam Newton, but when you think about it, they don't do as many zone reads as they do for, back then that they do now. And Anthony Richardson just doesn't have the weapons around him yet. But listen.
He blind too. Don't forget he blind. He can't see.
He's scared.
Inaccurate as hell.
Listen, but I think the motherfucker got happy feet back there. His line is ass. They got one dude. They got Quentin Nelson.
That's right.
He a beast.
That's it. But that's all he got. But remember, we talked about Jake Bates, and we talked about how he missed those kicks, remember? And I told you, I said, well, you in the USFL with shitty-ass linemen, so I got to kick it faster.
Right.
So these guys can't block. I can't trust these guys to do that. So now when you see him, with us, he ain't missed yet. He ain't missed at all.
He missed extra points. He missed extra points.
Did he miss one?
He missed one or two.
No.
Extra points, yeah. I seen him.
I don't think.
I remember. I called him out his name when he did it. So
hold on. Look.
Nate,
he missed the list too.
I almost had you going to bed, Bobby, and you had to get Nate going because now Nate's researching something.
I'm sorry, but
God damn it, Bobby.
hey, that's what my boy. Hey, my boss said that yesterday too. Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
So Jake Bates has missed one extra point.
I knew I called him out his name. I knew I meant to call him out his name. I was mad.
Yeah, he's missed one. One extra point.
Okay.
For his extra points, he's at 97.5% field goals, 100%, Longer 58,
Oh yeah,
84,
he going to Hawaii probably. I mean, he going to
80,
Provo probably.
84 accumulated points he scored. But my thing is that it's all about your offensive line when it comes to certain things, and you have to trust it. So when you have a young player and you're going into something new, it's like, if I can't trust you, I can't be comfortable. Like Jared Goff trusts his offensive line to the T. Even when a dude is up his ass,
Oh
you can
Lord,
see the dude reaching. Jared Goff just steps up.
boss.
Pause. Shit. Okay, time out. So when even when somebody is reaching out to tackle Jared Goff, he still trusts in his offensive line enough to where he doesn't panic. He doesn't panic. And with Anthony Richardson, with a guy who's young, when he instantly feels pressure, the first read, that's all you got. You got one
Yeah,
read.
he didn't start that long in college no way, so he still got a lot to grow into.
Right. It's the same thing with Mac Jones. The Lions gave that boy one read, and that was it.
Yeah.
So it's around the same, but I think Anthony Richardson is going to be more of a problem than Mac Jones was. But I still see 14. And we got to watch Kwity Paye. Kwity Paye is a defensive end for.
Oh yeah, that dude that used to be on Michigan. I remember him. He is nice.
Yeah.
DN, right? He DN. No, yeah, he DN, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But Decker,
I remember him. I thought he should have been on the line.
Whoever our left tackle is, they gonna have to be. Or we gonna have one of those games like we seen with Arden Key, and he's gonna be on Jared Goff every chance they get. So that left tackle is going to be paramount against Indianapolis.
So my quick thoughts on this game. First of all, I don't really think it's as much about us anymore. I think it's about what does the other team bring to the table, because we know what we're bringing. Now as far as Indianapolis is concerned, let me say this right now. Anthony Richardson was somebody that I was pretty high on coming out of the draft. Like I like what I saw of him at Florida. I realized it was
I did too.
Size.
I still do.
I like the kid, and I realize he's been getting a lot of backlash over the last few weeks. It's like I said this on my radio show. It was like everybody went from constantly hating on Deshaun Watson, and then the minute Deshaun goes down, they're like, okay, we need somewhere to put our hate. Where are we going to put it?
It went to J-Mo, don't forget.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, quarterback-wise, it went from Deshaun, where everybody's like, he's the worst quarterback in the league. And then all of a sudden, when he went down, they couldn't talk about him no more. All these big analysts were like, well, Anthony Richardson, have you noticed him? Because they gotta figure out where they're gonna put their hate, But Anthony Richardson, make no mistake about it, he is playing for his NFL career right now. Because of this stuff and because of the turmoil within that own franchise, because Indianapolis does not have it figured out. When you have your quarterback who's supposed to be your guy and you bench him for Joe Flacco and make the statement that Joe Flacco is the quarterback for the rest of the season, only to then pull him 2 games later, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
He should never said he was tired. He should never said he was tired. That was the dumbest thing.
But my thing is, they don't know what they're doing. It reminds me a lot of
right. He doesn't have no help. Yes, I'm tired. I'm dropping back. I'm throwing. I'm running around for my fucking life. My offense is ass. Like, what the fuck am I doing back here?
It reminds me a lot of how the Jets treated Zach Wilson. I'm not comparing Zach Wilson and Anthony Richardson as.
But I see it though. That's the
situation though. It's like, this is your team, but now it's not your team. This is your team, but now it's not. How the fuck are you supposed to get comfortable in that situation? You can't. You can't. If you've ever had a job where your boss is like, now you're management, guess what? Now you're not. Or you're up for a promotion, but now you're not because you had a bad day here or whatever. That fucks with your psyche. And so Anthony Richardson right now, he's playing for his football career. And so because of that, I'm looking at this and I'm going, this might be that matchup that stings us, because you have got Anthony Richardson playing for his football life for the remainder of this season. He is at home. Okay. This is going to be a game that's got eyeballs on it. And oh, by the way, our leading linebacker is out for the next 8 weeks. So whoever put on him, they got to be on their P's and Q's, because Anthony will run, like Nate just told you. But now we don't have Anzalone to go catch him. We got Jack
But actually, like, one of the biggest things, and this is why I love David Long. David Long can run. And a lot of people might not remember, but before he even went to Miami, David Long played at Tennessee.
But what I'm saying, Nate, is
he can. Yeah, I get it. But that's what I'm saying. I don't want people to see him just run, because not just saying, "Oh my God, he's going to run around." This is why that's why I said when I put it in our chat, I wish Devin White was still available. But Devin Long also was a 95 against the run.
But
this is what he does.
But let me put this out there though, and because like I said, I do want to get Bobby like to where he needs to be. So with not having Anzalone, okay, that does factor in. And then on top of that, you now have Jack Campbell, who has to call the defense. He's got to wear that green dot. He has not had to do that because Anzalone was the one that was doing that. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I'm not saying the Lions are going to have like a ton of trouble with it. I'm saying that is a factor in this game. And
he better been paying attention. I know that. That's all I
find out. We're going to find out, right? So, but Anthony Richardson, I think he has a decent game. I do. I think this is either going to be a blowout belt to ass, or this is going to be a close game where people start to question shit that they don't need to question. So I'm going to say close game. I'm going to say 28-20. I think Lions win the game, but I think Anthony Richardson, because of what he's playing for and having to do it so early into his career with all these questions, like, he's going to want to go out there and ball out. And I think the Lions, like I said, we can't beat everybody 52-6. I'd love to see it, but that's just not sustainable. So we'll see what happens. But I think close game. The fellas think it's going to be belt to ass. So we'll find out. I did find out though that Dan Campbell is not just the HC. He is the president of the BTA. That's right, belt to ass. So anyway, with that, let's go closing remarks and we'll get out of here. Bobby, bless you first.
Oh, I got to show you my victory hat. It's from this week.
That's a cool hat. I love the hat.
Yeah, I like the Megatron looking helmet on the damn thing. I got another hat, but I'll just save it for later. I don't know. I don't got time to really talk about them.
Okay.
But I did show y'all. Y'all love it though, right?
I do. The visor.
This one.
Oh, you know what? We need to do one more thing.
Oh boy.
No, we need to, if we can, quickly address our subscribers' comments.
Oh, do we have comments?
Oh yeah, we got a few.
I did not see the comments. My bad. Go
ahead.
No
Lions don't do that.
Because I'm not seeing any on my end.
No, okay. It was Bill. Lock.
Yeah. So shout out to Bill Lockhart. Shout out to JB.
Yeah, I just refreshed it and we got a shit ton of comments. My bad, everybody. I was
shout out to my boy Tim. New Orleans in February is good. So that's what I want to do. Like, before we do that, so Elijah, if you get a chance to go ahead and you can address some comments for us, since you have them all.
Yeah. Just I stay on for my brother Bill for a little bit.
Yeah. So Bill was saying Jared Goff did an interview and he didn't even know his stats.
He lying. He lying, Bill.
Don't bring to people's attention. His accuracy means everything when you have playmakers getting the ball. And yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, my big thing with Jared Goff is I want to throw a comparison out there with the Peyton Manning thing, because again, I hear all these big analysts, which by the way, a couple weeks ago I said on my radio show, I said, hey, Dallas at the beginning of the year when they gave Dak all that money,
we laughed.
They were doing so with a mindset of we're going to the playoffs. And now that mindset has completely changed. So I'm looking at it going, how do you bring the energy back to Dallas? You draft Shedeur Sanders. And so I said that on my show. And then a couple of days later, Stephen A. Smith is on First Take, and he's like, you know what? I know how to fix the Cowboys. And everybody got all, excited about what he was going to say. He said, draft Shedeur Sanders. Like, we've never heard anybody say that before. I said, you motherfuckers. Like,
listen, we know that somebody steals our content. We don't say nothing. We've seen it too many times.
Right.
Where
So now every time Dallas loses, they're like Shedeur and Dion, and I'm just sitting there like, I wish I made that type of money. God damn it. Anyway, so that's my situation. But I think that's all of our comments that I see anyway. If I'm missing anybody, like Nate, tell me, because I do want to make sure Bobby gets to bed.
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, I like cuss you out, Elijah, brother.
So I'm assuming we're all set. So Nate.
Yeah. Good episode, fellas. Good episode, fellas.
Nate, closing remarks.
Closing remarks. Same thing. Boost to asses. Keep pushing forward. Right now we're
leave no doubt.
Right. Leave no doubt. We on right now. We on 8-1. I'm sorry, we're on an 8-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Remember, we're leaving no doubt. We're playing to the whistle. We ain't being disrespectful, leaving our guys in here. We just let y'all know if y'all don't come to play. And Rob, Bobby right now is looking like a dude from Detroit named Sada, baby. Look at
Yeah.
But like I say, man, we're shooting right now for 9 wins in a row. So let's go ahead. Let's see, we're 9-1, so we're shooting for 10-1. A couple more games to go to the regular season. No more injuries. The only thing I think that can stop us is the injury bug. So we're praying. We're going to keep hoping these guys are taking care of their bodies. Oh, and Aiden Hutchinson was running in the pool.
I've seen that. That's hard work.
Some people might try to downplay it.
That's hard work. Remember, I had to recover in the pool. That's hard work.
He's already in the pool.
That's hard work too.
Yeah, there was no rails. There's no resistance. That's all him running in the pool. So we're going to continue to hope that guys strengthen up, get strong. In 6 to 8 weeks ain't too much. In 6 hours, we NFC Championship, there is a chance that you could have Aiden on one side, Za'Darius on the other side, and Anzalone right back in the middle. So we want to make sure that everybody stay healthy. Eli, Bobby.
All right. Well, hey, I'm going to end it as I always do, my friends. Hey, if you come across a situation this week where your skill set can make it better, you now not only have the ability, but you have the responsibility to do something about it. And remember,
do it.
Every day is an opportunity to make your life a little bit better and the lives of those you love. So get out there and take advantage.
It's more comments. I'll see more.
All right. So, hey, we got to go, though, because Bobby Bless has it in his contract that if we don't end by 8:20, he's out of here. He's out of here. Hey, we love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Episode